We thought you were the judge.
Okay. Just look at my face, you can have it. Sorry. All right. We're gonna call the finance committee meeting to order. Present are council members Barker, Cost, Chu, Hauser, and Marmy. First item is the unappropriated balance stands at $547,944. And the balance of the budget stabilization fund is at $599,344. First item on the agenda is a request for appropriation in the amount of $105,522.89.
Good evening. These are funds that we did not budget for. We had two, I can speak to the first one. We had a water note and we had a stormwater note that were both rolled into a bond, last month. And these were some premium funds that we received that we now have to pay the interest on the bond. And so we didn't have these appropriately budgeted. So it's actually just moving some money that we got back from the bond proceeds, last month.
Oh, sorry.
Motion by Hauser, second by Barker. Questions and or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of send us on the full council signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. The motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a request for appropriation in the amount of $500,000.
Yes, sir. This is for the Cherry Bend slip repair project. We had partially funded that in a previous budget. And we have recently accepted bids for the project. And this $500,000 would fully fund the rest of the project and allow us to award the bid.
Motion by Barker, second by Hauser. Questions and or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor send us on the full council signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion passes 5-0. With that, this finance committee meeting stands adjourned. Next up is service.
So is it around the Newark? It's been
All right, we'll call the service committee meeting to order. Those present are myself, Brad, Neely, Cost, Line, and Shoot. Up next, we'll consider resolution 24-84. Resolution authorizing a director of public service to execute a contract for reimbursement of legal representation of indigent persons for calendar year 2025 with the Licking County Board of Commissions for the city of Newark, Licking County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Who is here to speak about that? More?
I can't.
Well, I know you're an authority on the figure and nobody else has stepped it up, so how about it?
We do this every year. It's so that if someone is charged in the Newark codified ordinance, the Licking County will reimburse for attorney's fees for people who are indigent and can't afford, legal counsel. So we have to do this contract with the commissioners every year so that we can have, the funding for those individuals to obtain legal counsel.
Any questions from the committee? Questions from the audience? I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Chu, seconded by Line. All in favor of passing this on to council, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. And we'll move forward with the budget. Zero, thank you. Up next will be resolution, ordinance 24-38. An ordinance approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances and a resolution as parts of the various codes of codified ordinances, providing for the adoption of new matter in the updated and revised codified ordinance, repealing ordinances and resolutions in conflict therewith and declaring an emergency. Let me look ahead and see if we need to just stay. Go ahead, Ms. Swan.
So this is the yearly also legislation that we do, that any changes that we've made to the codified ordinance and legal updates them, and this is the legislation to put that here for their update.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? Questions from the audience? I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion by, was that cost? Seconded by Line. See no questions. All those in favor of passing this on to council, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That will move forward with a vote of 5-0. Ms. Moore,
Yes.
one question I do have. Both of these have the emergency clause on them. Can you explain?
I think that we typically do the emergency call to get them through before the end of the year. So that's the way we received it from, and Amy, I'm not sure, Amy provides us with that legislation, and I think every year they put the emergency clause on it to get it through.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, up next, resolution 24-87, a resolution authorizing and directing the director of public service of the city of Newark, Ohio to apply for, accept and enter into water supply revolving loan account agreement on behalf of the city of Newark for planning, design, and or construction of lead service line replacement project number 6, and designated a dedicated repayment source for the loan. Already up there, ready to go.
Good evening. So this is number 6 of, we're expecting 12 lead service line projects. So, we're about halfway through. So this project, has already been approved. We submitted this last year to OWDA. It's just getting your approval to actually move forward with it. Just as a reminder, we did qualify again for this loan. It's 53% principal forgiveness, so it's basically 53% free, 47% we have to pay back. And that's 0% interest for 20 years, so it's a really good deal for us, and they want to see the project move forward. We're expecting this to be a $3.5 million project, and we're going to anticipate about 900 more services to be replaced with this money.
On projects 1 through 5, I know at one point in time you said you were having a hard time with compliance or participation. How is that? Is it changed?
A little bit, yeah, we changed the way we bid the project, so now that contractors are out there knocking on doors, and we're requiring them, like the last project we had, out of 500 services that the contractor's doing, they were required to get about 350 signed agreements on their own, and so, they're getting better results because they're out there working, the neighbor says, hey, come do mine, so, it's been improved, but yeah, we can always use more, there's still a lot of people knock on the doors and they don't want to do it, so just speak to that a minute. If we try to replace a customer's galvanized service line and we try 3 times, then it falls back on the customer. There's ever a problem in the future. So that's the requirement the EPA puts forth, that we have to try 3 times, and then we can basically say it's on the customer to replace that one.
Okay, so when these contractors are getting agreements with the customers, with our residents now, if they sign that agreement, there is no cost to them whatsoever, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And is there a risk as far as the resident goes?
Very little. Contractors required to repair the sidewalk, repair the grass. On the house, you know, if they have the core involved through the wall, they're required to repair that. All the internal plumbing, occasionally we will have issues, but I would say out of the 1,500 we've done, it's I'm gonna say less than 20 or 30 people had to go back and redo issues, but yeah.
But that's still on us, not the resident.
It's still on the city to get that resolved, yeah.
Okay. When the contractors are trying to make contact with the residents, are they leaving notices?
Yeah, they're leaving notices and knocking on the door if someone's home. If not, they'll call. They'll leave a door tag for them to return the call back to the contractor or to our office, to the water office.
So they can either sign that contract agreement with the contractor or sign that agreement with the contractor. Or they can go online to the Newark Water Department website and register there as well.
Correct.
Give what it said.
Correct. The online option is the easiest bet that we're recommending. If anybody wants to do it, go on Newark's website and type in lead, L-E-A-D. It'll take you right to the survey, to our lead service line survey. You can fill that online. It takes no more than a minute. You put your address in, information, and then you get an email response that you've been signed up. And we get it as well at our water office, and then we'll get you on the list for replacement. And also come to the office and fill out a paper form if you'd like.
So there been any stories about this in the newspaper, local paper, local radio? Anybody have any interest in talking about the things that we're doing for the residents?
I'd be interested in it, but I have not to this point. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, thank you. Any other questions or comments? For committee or the audience? I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
By Shoot. Seconded by Blind. Seeing no other questions or comments, all those in favor pass this on to council, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign. That'll pass 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry for drilling you with questions there.
You're good. It's all
I knew
helpful.
you knew all the answers. Up next, resolution number 24-88. A resolution authorizing and directing the Director of Public Service to advertise and award bids and enter into a contract subject to the appropriation of funds for the Raccoon Creek Cherry Bend Slope Repair Project. Mr. Mormon.
Yes, sir. So this is a piece of legislation when we're going through the checklist to award the project. We realized that we didn't get a resolution passed by council for this one. So we're kind of backtracking on the advertising part of the legislation, but we still have not awarded the bid. And this is for, as we said, direction to create a Cherry Bend slope repair project. So I'd ask that you pass this on, and when this is passed by council, then we'll move forward with awarding the bid.
You okay with that? That's that's what your time.
Yeah. Yes, we just need to let the contractor know that. So.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? Questions from the audience? Okay, motion.
Motion.
Motion by Blind.
Second.
Second by Cost. All in favor to pass this on to council, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion will pass in 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Porter. Up next, resolution number 24-89. Major rehabilitation of pavement, replacement of composite pavement, and construction of additional general use lanes. Bridge and culvert maintenance work to be completed for the project. Be a little descriptive.
Yes, I can. So this is an ODOT project where they'll be doing some pavement resurfacing and repairs. Basically for the city of Newark, it is the very west end of State Route 16. Basically from about 1/10 of a mile east of Thornwood Crossing to our west Fork line. So through the Cherry Valley, the old Cherry Valley intersection area. So it's a very short half-mile section of State Route 16 pavement. And the rest of their project will be moving westward to Route 37.
Probably have a completion date of August.
I don't know what the condition is, honestly.
Any questions from the committee? Questions from the audience? Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Blind. Second. Seconded by Beely. All in favor of passing this on to council, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That'll pass with a vote of 5-0. I was kidding about the August time.
I know.
Hopefully ODOT will hear that. Up next, Resolution number 24-90, a resolution authorizing and directing the Director of Public Service to enter into a new management agreement with the Lincoln County Family YMCA to open and operate Allen Pool. Mr. Rhodes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the past 11 plus years. The Wise operated Hollander Pool for us. Last year, we didn't open it, a couple different reasons. One, I've had a lot of construction in the area. This year, just a couple of weeks ago, we filled the pool, we ran the pool, everything works well. I've met with the Y, negotiated a new management agreement. And if approved here by this body, then we'll put it into the budget. If approved, then we'll make a final decision at that time. We'll do this year or not. We've got, we do have some
This year or this coming?
this coming
Next.
year. And we do have some more construction in the area with the bridge there, and we'll take that into consideration when we make the final decision. All I'm asking for is to be made outdated management agreement so we can walk that path.
Anything you can do to open that pool would be much appreciated. All right, any questions from the committee? Questions from the audience? Open podium. Name and address for the record, please.
Rochelle Boland Smith, 237 Violet Court. In the past, frankly, under the YMCA, the pool's been rather dirty. And I was wondering whether there's going to be an improvement in that regard. In terms of their management.
Everybody have a seat, you have a chance to answer that. Thank you.
And we talked with Y, we'll bring those comments.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Motion by Neely. Seconded by Blind. All in favor of passing this on the council, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion passes with a vote of 5-0. That concludes the service committee. Up next will be personnel. Without personnel director, it's amazing. So those things make you go. Oh, I'm sorry, was that on the record?
Technically, no.
Yeah, that's not.
Okay, we're gonna call the personnel committee to order. Council members present are Shute, Labutus, Cost, Ryan, and Barker. First, we will discuss ordinance number 24-39. An ordinance modifying the pay range for the position of senior automotive mechanic equipment operator in the city of Newark, Department of Service, Division of Street Maintenance, and amending the department authorization table and setting the compensation therefore. Mr. Prince,
Yes,
the floor is yours, sir.
thank you. I, originally, when we did this in 2020, the senior mechanic I'm gonna come up with is also like a crew leader in the garage, because there are two mechanics. He orchestrates the work. Coordinates with me daily, you know, prices and needs and so forth, and vice versa. And the last, bargaining agreement, they had moved just to slash mechanic operator up in pay scale, which closed the gap. And at the same time, you know, by seeing that, to keep our mechanic, I would like to move him up to this because he's making less than the crew leader and the other, and with his certifications, he has to have the ASE. And he has to have them updated, you know, every 4 years, he has to recertify. And I know there was talk of doing a certification pay scale. And I'm not really for that because anybody in the shop down there could go up to CTEC and get a certification, they're going to be paid at that rate. Whether, you know, I think we need to separate that part and bring him in alignment with, you know, what the county, I investigated all this, the county, their pay scale and so forth, their certification, same as his. that he has and to bring him up to that level, somewhat equal with them. It'll be a little less, but it's closer. So I definitely don't want to lose the guy.
Right.
We have to start contracting it out, you know, you take it to Midway or something like that in the middle of the night. We're not first on the list.
Sure.
You know, I can pull the drop, you take care of it.
Okay. Is there any questions from members of council?
Does this position, is it required to have like a CDO?
Yes, he has to have a CDO, yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Call for motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Labutus. Second by Ryan. Any other questions? Questions from audience? Sprint, I don't know if you know this, maybe the auditor can speak on it, I'm not sure. By taking him up to this, by pay range 42, what's the differential? What's the increase? And if you don't have it now, you can just send it to personnel committee later, it's fine.
I don't have it, I get it.
Okay.
If I would have known earlier, I could.
Yeah. You're fine, okay, oh, thanks, Christine.
The annual increase for both is $4,700.
For both,
For the pay range increase from 40 to 42 and the license to.
thank you. Any other questions? That being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and lastly, we're gonna discuss ordinance number 24-40. An ordinance amending the position classification and pay range and department authorization tables of the city of Newark, Department of Public Service, Division of Cemetery and Parks by reclassifying the classifications for of ground maintenance workers and abolishing the classifications 2 of equipment operators and abolishing the classification of assistant superintendent, while creating 2 additional classifications of grounds maintenance workers and setting the compensation therefore.
Good evening. In regards to this ordinance, we worked with Chief Capacity and the union in regards to identifying some needs for Chance to reach her vision of the department. And with that, she reclassified the grounds maintenance workers position from pay range 32 to 34. She has 4 current positions. 3 of those are currently filled, with 1 in the process of being filled. Abolishing the 2 existing equipment operators that are currently pay range 36, while creating, and those are vacant positions, while creating 2 additional ground maintenance workers at a pay range 34. And then abolishing the existing assistant superintendent. With doing this, it gives her 6 total assets that provide more array of work to accomplish her mission within the department. She currently doesn't need the equipment operators, which requires CDL, and the current grounds maintenance workers have been performing the duties of the equipment operators that don't require the CDL, like running the backhoe and everything else. And then in regards to the assistant superintendent position, she's just looking to clean up her authorization table. She has no, at this time, it's my understanding she doesn't have any intention of filling that position, and then the vision for it to change, of course, we'll come back to the need for that.
So one question I have right away on the authorization table. On 3432-83002, the second equipment operator, position status says single.
Because at the time that this was created, in New World, he's still showing as an active employee until he's terminated through OPERS, but that position is actually vacant.
So there's nobody
in there.
nobody actually in that
Nope.
position. Okay, thank you. Any questions from the committee? Questions from the audience? Motion by Labutus, second by Cost. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. One other thing, Christine, if you could let Director Spurgeon know we like him in the next committee meeting of personnel next month. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, there is no other business of the Personnel Committee. At this time, council committee stand adjourned. We will reconvene for full council at 7 p.m. Thank you.